The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy.
It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world. I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome into another edition of The Wyldeside with Eric Clark. I'm your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day being awesome to give my little video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to dig it, give it a share. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel and following on all the social media I have linked down below. That way, if there's a band, song, video, something you'd like me to check out, you can hit me up with a DM or leave it in the comments below. If you are going to hit me with a DM, please no spamming, unless it's actual spam. Then there's a mailing address down there. If you are going to leave in the comments, join the I Concur Army. It's easier than my sister. All you have to do is give the comments a cursory glance. If you see your suggestion has already been made, all you have to do is like that original suggestion and below reply with I Concur. That'll help my old burnout, resin-coated, 1990s addled DJ brain get everything into a nice organized list, and I can put it into the handy-dandy notebook. Also, twice a week, we are live streaming, Wednesdays 11 a.m., Saturdays 2 p.m. The Wyldeside Live goes live from the east side of Nashville, and you can be there. All you have to do is hit that notification button, and that way you'll be told, hey, Eric's going live. Twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. Before we get started in today's video, thank you to Connect 200 Music to See and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Today's music video is coming from the live chat. It is for our moderator, Volte the moderator, has asked me what I knew, because again, these live streams are wild, wild west. I'm telling you that right now. We were talking about Greta Van Fleet, and I said, look, I know absolutely nothing about them. I was working in hard rock. They're more of an alternative rock station. I only know what I've seen them in the zeitgeist, but I know absolutely nothing about Greta Van Fleet. So he linked me a video he wants me to check out. Today we are checking out Greta Van Fleet from the Candlelight sessions, Broken Bells Live. And I am relying on all of you to be my Sherpas in this journey. I know nothing about them, so fill me in down below. All I know, it's the Kiska brothers. Josh is the lead singer, and this is from their second album, Battle at the Garden's Gate. Nice biblical reference there. So it is Broken Bells. Let's check it out.
See the faces through the broken glass. No
I get it. All right, I see now. I get it. That was a very good introduction to Greta Van Fleet, Broken Bells from the Candlelight sessions. Very well named. A lot of candles there. When I hear songs like this for the first time, and I'm introduced to bands like this for the first time, it really makes me miss my wife. I don't listen to about 80% of the music I own because of our connection to it, which is one of the reasons why I started to reach out and find new music so that I can have music that didn't have that connection. But when I see this and hear this, it makes me miss her, because I know that this is something that she and I would bond over, our love of that tone that's coming through here. What a great layering of sounds, great conflicts of light and dark, lyrically very well matched. His vocals are perfect. The only person I've heard sing in that register that well controlled would be Barry Gibb. And control in that, so singers have a danger zone. If you use your voice to sing or speak for a living, in my industry, we have a danger zone. And it's where you turn yells into screeches, right? And things will rattle if you allow the danger zone right here to take over. You should be singing from down here. And in his register, he is clean and nice and wide and thick through the entirety of the delivery of his lines. So there's no running up and there's no dropping off. Everything he's doing vocally, I want to make sure I get it right, Josh Kiska, everything he's doing vocally is perfectly controlled in that space. And the band is the tone that's in this song. I talked about a really great conflict. I talk about great conflict of light and dark here. So sometimes, most of the time, songs are either going to be one way or another. But when you get a song like this that's so well layered and so well created that you're able to thread through its entirety a varied spectrum of light and dark. So while there are the foundational tones that are being created to create that foundation of listening, and then weaving through, and I'm watching the guitar player, especially when he's on his acoustic, he's switching from finger playing to picking, and that's creating another layer. It's creating a different layer in your ear, whether you understand it or realize it or not. When he's going from finger to pick, there is a distinction in the tone that's being created in that guitar. So while there is a melancholy, without a doubt, there is a melancholy in this song, and it draws you in. It draws you into your own exploration and your own reflection in a melancholy. Yet, here's that great conflict. It's an... maybe it's because I'm Irish, I don't know. But it's this hopeful melancholy, where it's this, yes, I've been jaded by the world, and yes, my innocence is gone, and yes, as I grow, I become more attached to a reality that I may not have known existed prior to this point in my life. While there is a melancholy in that mindset, the music being created around it is so beautiful and so light and so layered in those springtime life colors that you almost get not mad at yourself, but you start to find your melancholy to be silly in a way. And you almost, it's almost a self-motivation is what I'm getting from this. And it's very well done. It reminded me a lot, when I talk about that conflict of light and dark, very few bands are able to do that. Very few bands are able to create this light and dark at the same time. They're either one or the other. Bands like Mad Season, Yes, Moody Blues. There's a band out of Canada back in the 90s called the Tea Party that I remember just created these really cool layers of light and dark, this dichotomy of tone in the same song. So when you were done with the song, you felt almost positive and motivated regardless of the melancholy or negativity or the darkness that is in that messaging or in that tone. So very well done, and I can see why there is I can see why. people have been telling me to check them out. That is brilliant. It reminds me a lot of Queensryche. When I first picked up Queensryche for the first time, I remember just being blown away by how perfectly layered everything was and how perfectly controlled Jeff Tate's vocals were. And when I hear Josh singing in his register, I'm not hearing a falsetto. And that, I think people could mistake that. I think in the times that I've heard it, I may have thought that's a falsetto. I'm not interested in that. I don't know. But hearing it in its entirety, I understand now that this is this person's register, and he's perfectly controlling it. Like I said, the only other person I've heard in that register sing that cleanly and that thick, that perfectly in that register is Barry Gibb. When you listen to a song like How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, there's a power to the vocal, yet when they pull back, they're not losing power. And that's what makes his vocals so brilliant, is that he's capable of emoting through his vocals every message he's trying to get across, whether it's a hard delivery or whether it's a soft, fading delivery. It's still nice and wide and thick throughout its entirety. Like I said, no run-up, no offsets, I think is what they're called. But there's no ramping into it and dropping out of it. And when you're singing live in that register, I'm sure it's very tempting to, as we would say, cut corners. And he doesn't. Everything is sharp. Everything is crisp and clean. The piano and the drums just really, along with the orchestral section, they really create this perfect foundation. And then the guitar, between the acoustic and the electric, just weaving this great harmony with his vocals. Very well done. That is Broken Bells, the Candlelight Sessions, Greta Van Fleet. That is suggested by our moderator, Valte. Valte, the moderator. Thank you very much for that. I owe you a beer, my man. And he is our moderator. We do live streams every Wednesday and Saturday. So thank you very much for that suggestion. If you do have a suggestion for me, something you want me to check out, you can hit me up with a DM or leave in the comments below. And because I don't know anything about him, and this is my introduction to him, all you Greta Van Fleet scholars, let me know down below everything I need to know about this band and any future suggestions you may have for them. So thank you very much for that suggestion, Valte. Greatly appreciated. Thank you to Connect 200, Music to See, and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Thank you to all of you for taking time out of your busy day being awesome to give my video a watch and a listen. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wyldeside.